Hi, let's play the Stanley Parable.
This.
Oei, why did I skip? No, I want to hear narrator, and that's the fun thing about it. One sec. I want to hear him. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
That's all.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, so we finally want change in the autistic routine. Okay, let's go. Oh, that's... I pressed and pause. Oh yeah, okay. I thought I crashed the game for a sec. Look. Why is the pause so intense? It's like same effect as if you crashed the game. Oh yeah.
All of his
that was my office.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Why am I so
Perhaps
fast?
he had simply missed a memo.
That's how I crashed. So I just go here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I just saying I'm gonna follow my feeling, not necessarily the narrator, but my feeling already said left. So just gonna follow my feeling and let's see if it's the same as a narrator. You know. Oh, am I too fat or something? Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Seems very boring. What it... But it's so typical. I know this game is not made by AI, but yeah, it's so typical. It is what it is. Broom closed. Yeah, I might have already watched Stanley Parable videos. And it's a thing you can go in there. But can I? No? Oh yeah, I can.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yeah, well, okay.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
I'm not
He wasn't
sitting in
even
it.
doing anything.
I
At
am
least if there was
doing
something to
something.
interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I'm outsmarting the narrator already. I am not standing like the others did. I'm not just standing there. Yeah, maybe now I am. What about it?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing
now
nothing?
I am.
Why?
Yeah, now I am.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Alright.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. Coming to a staircase,
I did pass
Stanley
it. What are you
walked
talking
upstairs
about?
to his boss's office.
Now I wanna go down. Is this? Yeah, I feel like going down. Just think.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
But I'm
Maybe,
crazy.
he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Yeah,
All
I
of my
am.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
It's got
None of it made
celebrated.
any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For
And what is it?
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Because I'm
Why did
flying.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Because I'm magical.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they
Stanley
are.
said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Guys.
And at last, he came to
I
the
already
conclusion
know
that had
this.
been
I've
on the
already
tip of
seen
his
Stanley
tongue.
Parable.
He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
Hey, this
is all a dream. Oh,
Still
what
wanted
a
to play it
relief
myself.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't
Yeah, but
actually gone.
come on.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Can you...
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring
Even I'm
real-life
tired
job
of the
pushing
routine.
buttons. I
I'm
may
out.
as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
But I was
Then
already
he imagined
flying.
himself soaring through space on
Now
a
I'm
magical
going
star
up.
field.
Nice.
And it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
Can
One
I
he
go
was
back?
amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
It's my own voice.
Now the voice was describing
I
itself
mean, I need to
being
think
considered
about
by
something if I
Stanley,
do
who
something.
found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
Can
he
you
thought.
close?
And one
Eh.
thought it all very
No.
odd, and wondered if this voice
it's only
spoke to
close
all
when
people
I'm
in their
in
dreams.
here.
The truth
Can I
was
get
that,
a
of course,
drink?
this was not a dream. How
Come
could
on.
it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock. to
Just
Stanley.
wanna... I'm bored,
After all,
narrator.
he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
It's still dark.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm more than okay. I want to see.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I'm that one girl.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Well, I'm a woman at least.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am
Insanity doesn't have a look.
in control of
it's
my
inside of you.
I know what is real and what isn't.
Well, okay.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, let's do another one, I guess. Let's do another ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yo, what happens if we choose
When
the
Stanley
other
came
door?
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
That's
Perhaps he
embarrassing.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes,
Hey, this
truly
is
a
cozy.
room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
This never works, this machine.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yeah, no, 'cause
so
nothing
utterly
works.
captivating
Can I
that
even
even
sit
though
down?
all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh. Oh, this game is not made by AI.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left
That
to
was
get
not
back
an
to
amazing, it
business.
was just cozy. Bro. Don't make things better than they are. Ooh. Hey, that's creepy. The end is like here. It's like an inception or something. I rather want to go here.
Stanley was so bad at following
Do not lie.
directions,
If you're
it's
lying right
incredible
now,
he wasn't
stop.
fired years ago.
I never... Oh, wait, that's a lie. Oh, yeah. Do not fall off the platform. That's a lie, no.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
Ja, I'm my own
I'm asking
person.
for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance
Isn't
to
this
redeem
game
yourself,
about a new
to
beginning?
put your
Well, I'm the
work
boss
aside,
now.
to let
And you're the
her back
employee.
into your life. She's
Yeah.
been waiting.
Shush it. Can you shush it for once? Oh.
That's her, Stanley.
Am I in heaven? That's not heaven.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All
I
right,
don't
now,
remember
I want you
this.
to come in and tell me all
Seeing
about
this. Oh,
Gotcha.
the mannequin.
Oh, come on.
I
Did
do
you actually
remember
think
that.
you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oh.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has
Yeah.
a job that demands nothing of him.
I agree
And
with
every
that.
button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now
Easy.
he's pushing a button.
At least it's easy.
Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back
Easy
to
way
work.
of making money.
One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Yeah. So what about it?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he
Are
began to
you
fantasize about
low-key
his
a
own
hater
job.
narrator?
First, he imagined that one day while at work,
Just let me
he
be
stepped
happy
up
with
from his
whatever.
desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
Oh,
And
she
down
does
another
have
was a
feet, I
game with
don't.
a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
One.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality,
Whoa.
all he's doing
Whoa,
is pushing the
whoa.
same buttons he always has. Nothing has
disappeared
changed.
when I
The
didn't-
longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer.
I hate
that as long as he
movies.
remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the
I'm
screen
not your
asks you to
dog.
push a button, do not do it.
What kind of boss are you? You're sick.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How
Yeah,
can I
I
tell him in a
can,
way that he'll
unfortunately.
understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see?
Wow.
How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
It says, please go
And I tried
die.
again, and Stanley pushed a
Please
button.
die, it says.
And I tried.
Wow. But I don't want to. I fucking hate her. What a big ass bully. Maybe it's a good way to holy. Yeah, I might play this game more. We will see. I don't know yet. But I hope you enjoyed. At least.